Hi, and welcome to the Business Pioneer Podcast. I'm your host, Erika Montgomery, founder and CEO of Three Girls Media Inc., an award-winning digital marketing agency. Today, I'm excited to be joined by Jason Cornell, the founder of Apex Landscape Solutions. With over a decade of experience owning and managing landscape businesses across Washington, Jason brings a wealth of expertise in sustainable landscape design and construction. He is armed with degrees in horticulture, landscape architecture, and environmental studies. And Jason's mission is to help clients create outdoor spaces that are not only beautiful, but also functional and engaging. His company stands out by offering innovative, eco-conscious solutions, all while maintaining a reputation for honesty, trustworthiness, and of course, a little bit of fun. Join us as we discuss Jason's journey into entrepreneurship, the importance of sustainability in landscaping, and how thoughtful landscape design can transform outdoor spaces. Jason, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So tell us about Apex Landscaping and how you got started.
Well, Apex Landscape Solutions, we started about 10 years ago here in Olympia. We are a full service design build company. So if it's outside, we do it, except we won't mow your lawn currently, but we may be looking into that at some point. With all of our designs and installs, we not only take into consideration the customer's needs, but everyone that will be using that. So that kind of touches on our sustainability side. So we try to do designs that will not only work for you as a customer, but for the ecosystem as well. We've been doing this, like I said, for 10 years. We typically work with residential, small government projects and some nonprofits. We recently just contracted with the Girl Scouts of Western Washington. We're going to be helping redo some of their local camps. One's very interesting. It's a historic preservation of a lodge. So we're real excited to kind of venture into new territory on that.
Oh, that's really exciting to be able to work with the Girl Scouts. And how does the lodge fit into landscaping? I'm assuming you're doing the landscaping and not actually something with the physical structure of the lodge itself, right?
Oh, yeah, correct. So the lodge, it's a historic lodge. It's been there for about 120 years. It was made all with locally sourced materials from around the area. So what we're going to be trying to do is match that historic period in time. So using the wood, the rocks, everything from the area, as well as make it functional for the hundreds of people that are going to be going in and out of this on a daily basis. So we're real excited to have a reach to more people and being able to affect their experience in a typical residential type of project.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing project. Now, typically, do you focus more on residential? You said you do some government projects, but is it mostly residential?
So it's mostly residential at this time. Like I said, over the last couple of years, we're trying to expand into different markets. We did a small government project for U.S. Fish and Wildlife last year for an elk viewing area, which was kind of fun. Just trying to see what other avenues of revenue and, design aspect. Like I said, one thing I really do enjoy and reaching for now is just trying to get a wider audience of people who will be experiencing our work.
So do you do both the hardscape and the softscape of the plants as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So first, we kind of start with the hardscape first. And the function of it. So, how everything's going to flow, how people are going to interact with just moving around the area. Once we have that kind of established, we definitely work into the softscape and the planting, which is one of my favorite parts. With a degree in horticulture, I'm an avid outdoorsman and naturalist. So, the plants are a lot of fun for me, trying to meet the needs of the area, the soil, the light conditions and water and the customers' needs and all of that is a lot of fun. But you have to make it work first. And then from there you can, make it pretty.
Sure, that makes sense. And How unique is it landscaping in Washington State compared to other areas of the country?
Well, Washington State is wonderful because we have a lot of plant options. We have very mild winters, and so our plant zones, we have a lot more options than say if you get east of the mountains anywhere along that area. So that's kind of nice. The growing season around here, we try to design to the 4 seasons and the 5 senses, which is great because we can actually do that this time of year. In January, there's a wonderful plant I like to use called Sarcococa. It blooms, it's very fragrant, and it actually allows one specific beetle to pollinate it, so it's good for that specific beetle. And but throughout the year, we're always trying to find some sort of either texture, scent, color, all of that to accent the landscape.
I love that you take into consideration the 5 senses because it's something that I would not have thought of when it comes to landscaping. You really just think of the visual, at least I do. But I think the fact that you think of it as a whole experience and bringing in, the sight, the smell, the touch, and all of that is really amazing. Tell me why designing like that is so important.
Well, you want to. We're trying to affect someone's experience for an area, and you don't experience that just by looking at it. So the sound of a water feature in the background as you're drifting off to sleep in your room, and the scent of let's say a jasmine or a honeysuckle like that is wafting in. You're not even looking at the landscape at that point, but you're still enjoying it because you get those other few things involved. Other things, texture. A lot of times people like to reach out and touch and feel things. So different grasses are nice and soft and wispy, or you may have a velvety leaf or something like that that can be fun as well. So really just trying to make sure that it's not just something that you're looking at, which it is mostly, but also it's something that you're experiencing with your other senses and throughout the year. It's not just something for springtime. So we're always trying to make sure there's something interesting to look at. Another thing to consider, and I'll just bring this up, is most of the time you're looking at your landscape through windows, especially here in Western Washington. So we really try to consider that aspect as well.
I think that's important because we do spend most of our year inside. At least most of us do. The summers are relatively short here, and our winters are long. So considering it from that perspective, where we're looking out our windows to enjoy our landscaping is critically important, I would imagine. And tell me a little bit about what sets APEC Landscape Solutions apart from your competitors.
I would like to think we bring a good value, given we're not the most expensive, we're not the least. So that is an aspect, but most of our value comes in the product we put out. We warranty everything for the life that you're in the house or in the home. I've got 30 years of experience doing this. Our leadership team, Juan, our project manager, and I have been working together for 25 plus years now. And he is an expert in what he does. So just making sure, we have, I would say, the experience, the education, as well as considering the environmental aspect of the landscape itself. So I do feel like that somewhat separates us. Customer service, of course, we're always there, and we do plan on being there for some time. And this is just part of our community, and what we want to be here for our customers and the outreach, not only for our individual customers, but quite honestly, to show how you can do landscaping without being so reliant on chemical inputs, stuff like that. So just trying to make it healthy for everyone involved with it.
I love that. Talk a little bit about healthy landscaping and how that works as opposed to having to worry about chemicals.
Well, quite honestly, one of the things that takes the most inputs in our landscape is a perfectly manicured lawn. And I'm not saying that you can't have a lawn that's very nice without chemicals, because you surely can. But when you go down the Home Depot aisle and you're looking, and you smell it first before you even go in there, and you have every chemical in the world to kill different weeds and insects and everything else. And now it's we use a precautionary principle. There are times when you do have to bring out something against an invasive species or something of those matters. But over time, we can create a system that's a little more self-sufficient on using its own inputs to survive without having to add extra inputs. I kind of liken it to our own health and what we eat. So we can probably get by fine on Red Bulls and Cheetos, but it's not sustainable. It's going to make you crash at some point. So if you're intaking the right things, just like your landscape, it'll perform better long term.
That makes a lot of sense. I love the regular food analogy with our own bodies. That makes a lot of sense to me. So once you have installed the new landscape, do you have any kind of, I don't know if the right word is training maybe for the homeowner to teach them how to care for their new surroundings?
So we offer an owner's manual. This is something new we're working on now. And so we've been rolling it out slowly, but essentially when you're done, you receive a 3-ring binder. It's got all the information of all the different physical products we put in, like your irrigation controller, your transformer for your lighting, how if you have lights that change colors, how all of that portion works from the manufacturer. I also include just a detailed plant list with a picture and how you're supposed to maintain that. So do I cut this back in the spring? Do I cut it back in the fall? That sort of stuff as well as a calendar of what you should be doing this month. Oh, it's March right now. We should start thinking about mulching our plants and thinking about maybe a natural fertilizer of some type. Probably not high in nitrogen at this point because we really don't want to pop the plants. But those type of things give you a general guide. And then secondly, we're here. We've been here for 10 years. Most of our customers end up being lifetime customers. We do stuff in phases over time, or they can give a call. I just had a customer call me a couple days ago. Hey, do I cut this one back? Yeah, you sure do. You cut that one back. Is it brown and dead? Yeah. Did you take your thumbnail and scrape along one of the branches to see if there's a little bit of green there? Yeah, and I got down to the green. Well, cut it back. So that is a good portion. And then at the end of every project, we do walk through with the homeowner and try to explain as much as we can.
That's fantastic. I love that you provide a manual for your clients to really give them a no questions asked, everything there in one convenient place. They have to really appreciate that from you.
They do. And then another aspect of it is the next homeowner who comes in. We're not all staying in our homes forever. And you've had a landscape done. You come in, you buy this new house. What the heck is that? How do I work this? Who even put this in? You have that manual, and that can go along with you. We do have a few customers that are second homeowners that weren't referred to us, that just picked up the information from the manual, gave us a call, and now we work for them now too.
That's fantastic. And you're absolutely right. People generally don't stay in their homes forever. They move around a lot. So that's a great point there that you can provide it to the next homeowner. So tell me a little bit about what's next for Apex Landscape Solutions. You've been in business about 10 years now. What's going to happen for you in the next 3 to 5 years? What are your plans?
Well, the next 3 to 5 years, we're cautiously growing. So, essentially we've been trying to hold on to the reins the whole time with our business. And at times we have, tried to grow our scale a little too quickly. And with that comes a whole set of another set of problems with it. So we're going to cautiously try to scale our business and really look for the right people, which is what makes the business. So we're really trying to find some people who would be future leaders if they're not leaders now, and folks that want to stay with us for some time. So looking for the right people to invest in, and then get to a point to where we have a program and our operating procedures and everything else that people are comfortable with the program, and that I may be able to step away a little bit.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know about you, but for me as an entrepreneur, I think one of the most challenging things about managing a team is finding good qualified candidates to join the team who are going to stay for a while. Nobody wants to go through the process of interviewing and hiring a new team member and then have them leave in 6 months. It's painful. It's really painful. So I appreciate that. And what do you look for in your new team members?
New team members, a couple of things. You have to be a good person first. We can, honesty is one of our core values here at the company. We work for a lot of different people, and we're in their homes. I mean, we are on their property. So being comfortable, being a good person, being honest is the priority number one. And then after that, just being excited about what you're doing. I love having people who like the feeling of being creative, working with their hands, being out in the seasons. I, as a designer, I don't do as much of the work as I used to. So there is a creative element and outlet for our installers. Okay, we're going to put in a water feature in a dry stream bed. Well, you're down there doing it. Man, this rock has a really cool face that looks on this side. So, you want to put that side up. So people that really enjoy the art of landscaping. And then lastly, just learners, lifetime learners. If you don't know something, either try to figure it out, or go to the person to learn how to do it. Be willing to accept training, all of that. And then, now lastly, be a good team member. We're working with a team. Other people rely on you as a person. So making sure, you're on time, you're giving your best effort, you're ready to go to work. And I don't know how to put this. You leave your drama at home. You come to work. you go to work, and I want to create a space where people are ready to come to work, and it's just a nice place to be during that time.
Sure, that makes perfect sense. And if somebody is watching and they're interested in coming to work for you, what should they do?
Well, we would love to have them. We are hiring, and always hiring good people. But if you go to our website at www.apexlandscapesolutions.com, the name of our business, there's a tab there that you can apply. And so you just send us your information, and we'll get a hold of you. Like I said, we are hiring now. One thing that separates us in at least the local market, we pay you pretty well, and that is a key factor. And we've got a nice benefit package to go along with everything else. But we're willing to invest in our people so that they can live a good life and stay with us for some time.
Fantastic. And how do you go about marketing your business?
Mainly, we've got a great website, and a few years ago, we worked with a great marketing company, Three Girls, to kind of get us for some messaging. We also work with another person, Jenny Crane, on messaging. But most of our marketing is just purely Google and a website, and referrals. There is some signage. We have our trucks. We do put some yard signs out only in projects that we've done. We don't spray them across the whole community, and referrals. Most of it is referrals, but I like to keep the pipeline going a bit with so we have brand recognition and people know who we are. But as I mentioned before, we're not putting a whole lot into it because we haven't had to. Like I said, definitely want to have the brand recognition, everything else. But I don't want to overwhelm ourselves so much that we would put people off because we can't get to them.
Sure. And, I think it's amazing that you've got wonderful word of mouth referrals. I certainly think that's the best type of business you can get. You cannot beat a word of mouth recommendation from somebody who has used you before. So that's phenomenal. And then, of course, having a really strong website and Google business profile, so you're easily findable online and people can easily contact you that way, is great as well.
So yeah, and that reputation, I mean, it's the world we live in. A lot of people, they Google it, they look at Google reviews, and they, one thing I get a lot of comments on, oh, those are Google reviews from real people that you really work for, which is kind of a good thing to hear because people can read through that. But that reputation is pretty much what drives our marketing.
Fantastic. And how much does social media play a factor in your marketing?
Right now, well, to be honest, we're a little hit and miss on our Facebook page. We, to do this type of social media outlook, you need to be out there routinely. So we get out there and we update for a little while, and we don't. I'm not a big social media person personally, so this is where the honest part of running a business comes from. We probably could do a little better on that end, but again. One of the things we're really working on is our messaging on our social media outlets as well as our website, so that we're funneling in on a good match for our company, and that we're not trying to field every I don't want the phone ringing constantly. Sometimes we're not a good match for every person out there.
Of course. And that makes perfect sense. Well, if you want to talk about managing your social media, you know where to come, right? I'm happy to help you. Absolutely. So if someone is interested in potentially working with Apex Landscape Solutions, what should they do?
Well, give us a phone call. We generally answer the phone between 7:30 to 4 o'clock. At times we let it go to voicemail, especially we get like everybody, a lot of spam calls, a lot of everything else. We call you back within 24 hours. So that's the first thing. You can reach out that way. You could also reach out via online versus our online on our website, a contact form. Give us your information there. I get the email and we go from there. Being a busy professional, email honestly kind of works better because we can get back to it. But one thing I want, if people are listening, we try to answer the phone. If you leave a message, we call you back. If you email us, we get a hold of you. We might not tell you what you want to hear that we can come out tomorrow, but we're very realistic with our scheduling, and we try not to leave people hanging, wondering if we're in business or not.
That's fantastic. Really good to hear. So, Jason, for any entrepreneurs that are watching the podcast, any words of wisdom or advice that you have to offer?
Yeah, a lot. Don't give up. I mean, it's a hard road. There'll be times when you're wondering, why am I doing this? Is this really what we want to do? Well, the sun always shows up the next day, and you can't get that next project or that next opportunity or the next exciting thing if you fold up and you're not in business anymore. So that's the first thing. And then secondly, do what you, first you got to do something that you like. As a landscaper, landscape designer, I love being outside. I love all aspects of that. That's great. But now I got to be a business owner too and figure out how to run a business and do all of that. And that part came second. So one of the biggest things I could advise on that aspect, there's a lot of local resources and resources that you can utilize that will be helpful. For instance, the Thurston County Economic Development Center, the Small Business Development Center up in Lacey, for here locally, they're all over the country. They are extremely helpful in getting you to know how to read your balance sheet and your profit and loss and, a marketing aspect. You can have your own private counselor. I did a program called Scale Up where they offered it and it was free to our area on how to, scale your business correctly and just generally how to run a business. And so that's what I really want to say is don't be scared of that part. Go out there, look at your resources. Lots of people do it and learn how to do it.
Yeah, great advice. I think another organization that's super helpful for entrepreneurs is SCORE.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they've got amazing resources and help there. They've got a ton of classes you can take, and really valuable organization is SCORE. So thank you for that advice. So Jason, one more time, your website address so people can find you online.
Okay, it's the name of our business, Apex Landscape Solutions with an S. That's www.apexlandscapesolutions.com. Like how I did that, I think I got it right.
Yep, you
Apex
sure
Landscape
did.
Solutions. You can Google it as well. It'll pop up.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on today's show. This has been incredibly informative, and I really appreciate you being on.
Well, thank you for having us.
You bet. You take care.
You too.